Today we're talking about the Sig Sauer P365. So from Sig you get the gun and it comes in this black hard case here. The hard case itself has cutouts for the gun, an extra mag. It does come with two 10-round magazines, and then this foam right here is removable for whatever else you want to store in your case. It comes with the gun lock, and then just your normal basic literature that you get when you buy a firearm. Manual, stuff like that. So we're going to start off and just kind of talk about the ergonomics of the pistol first. Go over some of the features and kind of what comes on standard on the P365. So overall, I think it feels good in the hand. I'll start off saying that. It fits my hand well. I can get a full three-finger grip with the extended magazine and then also with the flat base plate magazine. So the grip itself has this grip texture on it, almost similar to like the skateboard tape type of stuff, and that feels good. I mean, that gives your hand some friction and something to rub on to get a good grip, on the gun. I will say though that carrying the gun, I don't wear an undershirt personally, so I do feel that on my stomach, but it's not to the point where it's like overly aggressive and it's like rubbing my skin raw and uncomfortable, making me not want to carry the gun. But that grip tape itself. It's not that grip tape texture on the grip is it's positive. I like that personally. So we'll talk about the front and rear slide serrations. These serrations are pretty sharp. They let you get a hold of the gun and really give yourself. You're not slipping off the slide or anything when you're racking or doing your press checks or anything like that. So the serrations on the gun, thumbs up for me. So overall, I think it feels good in the hand. I said that, and I stand by that. I think it is a comfortable pistol to hold and shoot. Talking about the controls on the gun, your mag release here, that is ambidextrous. You can switch that if you're a lefty. But right here you have your slide stop and then your takedown lever. Those controls are sleek. They're slim to the profile of the gun. I mean, that's positive. Nothing's catching on anything. You're not catching on your clothing. They're not protruding to the point where it's obnoxious. So the ergonomics of this little pistol are pretty. They're pretty good, and obviously this gun is small. If you haven't had a chance to hold one of these P365s and to kind of see how small it is for that 10-round capacity, I definitely think even if you're on the fence and you decide I don't want to buy this gun, I mean go put it in your hand, because it's pretty impressive how small this little gun is and how it can hold a 10-round capacity. So saying that, now I'm going to talk about the sights here, because the sights are one of the things that I think sets this pistol apart to the other small subcompact guns in the market. Because from the factory, Sig is setting these things up with the Sig X-Ray day and night sights, and I love these sights. Okay, you have that green post in the front, and then on the back here, there's they're not colored. I would just say they're kind of dots for just helping you line up your sight picture, but they have tritium inserts in them, so they glow, in low light conditions in the dark. And man, I love these sights. I really do. I don't have maybe the only negative I could say is they're not like easily adjustable from the factory. They're dovetailed in there, and but I really do like those sights, and that's something that I think sets this gun apart from a lot of the other subcompacts, comparatively speaking, because me personally, on my carry guns, I like to have night sights, just because I'm carrying, and whether it's day or night, I got the gun on me, and just in the case that I'd have to use it in a low light condition, I want that on there. So me personally, I like night sights on my carry guns, and that coming straight from the factory is just it's a big plus. It saves me an extra $100 from having to throw a set of sights on the gun after the fact of purchasing it. So I'm going to go into talking about the trigger now. We are clear here. So talking about the trigger, I want to say it's about a 5-pound break, but you get a little bit of take up. It does have a little creep and then that break. So don't show that to you again. Give you your reset. So overall, I think the trigger is decent. It's not great. It's not horrible. I think it's a good striker fired trigger. Okay, some people really like this trigger that I've talked to, You know, I've had people shoot the gun and they don't have any bad things to say about the trigger. Me personally, I think the trigger's a little spongy, but I think it's a good striker fired trigger. And I will say this, when I first picked this gun up and I dry fired it, I thought the trigger felt horrible. It makes this weird thud noise when you dry fire it, and I was like, man, what the heck? But upon getting it out to the range and then shooting it, it grew on me. And I think now I would say that I like the trigger. It's, like I said, it's nothing that I think is like, man, this is a great striker-fired trigger. I wish all my striker-fired pistols had this trigger in it. No, it's a good overall striker-fired trigger. So now talking about the price point of this gun, you know, the price point, you're sitting right about $500. Okay, now like I said, comes with the night sights where, you know, say you want a gun with night sights, you're looking at another $100 tacked onto whatever other pistol that you're looking at, you know, on this subcompact range. I've heard from some people that the $500, that price point's a little steep. I see where you're coming from with that. You know, that's a feasible argument. I understand that. I think it's worth it. I think the gun's well worth the $500. Now going in to the track record of this gun, my personal experience with the gun, I'm right under 500 rounds, and I've had no hiccups. Nothing's been wrong with it. It's fed everything I've put through it. You know, I've shot mostly brass cased ammo. I shot a box of aluminum cased ammo, and that ran flawlessly. I will say though, I've had some serious striker or primer drag, striker drag, whatever you know they're calling it, on my casings of the spent casings after shooting, and I'll insert a picture of that into the video. I know a lot of people are very apprehensive and cautious about getting this gun because of the bad striker drag, and I can understand that. Now, saying that, if you look at the track record of the P365, and if anybody's been watching YouTube videos on it or reading the gun forums, man, you know that this gun came out on the market and just had some stuff not going for it. Saying that, this is, I think, the third generation of this gun. It's a February 2019 build date. I think Sig's got them about as good as they're going to get. You know, that's my opinion. That's from, you know, just following the forums online and just reading about the gun. You know, I called, before I bought the pistol, I called, you know, all my local gun stores and just said, hey, what's the feedback you're getting on these? You know, are people coming into your shop and saying, yeah, you know, I had to send this back to Sig, you know, something went wrong with it. And man, 99% of the feedback I was getting from gun store owners and stuff, and people I knew that had the gun, they were all saying, no, you know, I think Sig's got it all fixed for good. And I'd have to agree with that in my personal opinion. That's why I bought the pistol, because I saw the gun released in the 2018 SHOT Show, and I was excited. I loved the concept, the idea of the 10-round capacity and that small subcompact frame. I was all for it, and I really wanted to get one of these pistols. But I think me, like a lot of other people, waited because you don't want to buy a gun with a bunch of problems and things that are just going to frustrate you, and you know, waiting on the gun to go back to the manufacturer and wondering if it's going to fail if you ever, you know, for some reason needed it as your carry piece. And I think Sig's got all the bugs worked out of it. You know, they said they beefed up that striker. So, you know, taking all that with a grain of salt, in my opinion, I would say that the P365 is probably about as good as it's going to get. So, you know, if you want one, if you're saying, man, I really want the P365, but I'm just going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting, I think now is probably about the time that if you're going to get one, you might as well go ahead and do it. Just based on from what I've been hearing and reading, and, you know, I'm no gun expert. That's just my own personal opinion. So, saying all that, I want to show you the rig that I've been carrying the gun in. I've been carrying it in this basic Kydex holster. This is from Concealment Express. I did a video on this. It's on my channel if you're interested. I recommend this holster. It's been good for me. It's functional. It's comfortable. It's been a good basic carry holster. And then I've been carrying this Elite Performance ammunition from Sig. I shot a box or two of it through the gun. It's fed reliably. I think it's good carry ammo. It's priced right. So that's what I've been carrying through the gun. As you can see, I have my magazine here at the flat base plate loaded up with it. So that's the way I'm running the gun. I'm carrying it at the 4 o'clock position. It's comfortable. I think it's a good carry piece. I really enjoy carrying it. I enjoy shooting it. Overall, I don't have a ton bad to say about the P365. You know, other than it having that reputation that's kind of tarnished, you know, what it is, and making people so apprehensive about the gun. But man, overall, I gotta say, you know, I really do like the P365. I think it's a good gun. I think comparatively speaking to the other guns on the market that are in that subcompact field, I think this is at the top of the list. And you know, that I think that's all personal preference, but just, you know, saying that and going over everything, you know, the 10-round capacity, the small size, the good ergos, the sights, for me it's a winner. I love the gun. It's one of the favorite subcompacts that I've gotten to shoot, you know, own, carry, just get my hands on and work with. You know, so saying that, I do recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up. And you know, so that's my tabletop review on the P365, and I appreciate you watching.